All right, everybody, we are here on a very windy day here, and we're decided it's gonna go and do something inside today. So we are at the Yankee Air Museum in Belleville, Michigan. So let's go check out some planes. All right, everybody, we are here inside the museum, making our way through. You can see here they have some pictures here dedicated to women of the airplane industry, Willow Run Bomber Plant. Some actual pictures here, some actual line workers here. Rosie the Riveter. Typical uniforms that they would wear here. And here's some more pictures of some planes that they would actually work on here. See some of the different types. Very cool old vintage pictures here of some really cool planes. And then they have some more artwork over here. Rosie the Riveter stuff, and some more pictures of females in the workplace here. Wow. Well, this is my first time ever being here, so this is a really cool situation to walk into here. I did not expect to have so much and such big planes here, but pretty neat. You can see over here they have a little section here for Vietnam. You can see they have some of the food rations here that they have back then. Instant coffee packets, Lucky Strikes, some chiclets. You can get some Camel. Joey, you're gonna have some lighters, some granulated sugar, some corned beef. Ew. Pork luncheon meat. That and butter rum lifesavers. So these are rations from 1941 to 1945, and then here's 61 to 81, and then here's present day here. Notice no cigarettes or matches that were in the present day. Have some uniforms here. Naval history. This is the uniform of J.R. Zcaders with his pins and stripes and everything here. And then over here they have another one. And this one is Sergeant Dale Lewis's uniform. And he was from Wayne, Michigan. And then over on this wall over here, I did do a little reading here on it. The orange barrels that are stacked up here represent Agent Orange. And this is to demonstrate the side effects and harmfulness of Agent Orange during the Vietnam War. And then up top there, they have some placards here with some different badges for the different squadrons. So this is what they call a revetment wall. And this is how they used to build barriers to block different things, equipment, parked cars, things like that. And like I said earlier, the orange barrels are representative of Agent Orange. So this is how they used to barricade things over there in Vietnam. And then over here they have various weapons of the Vietnam War. They have an M14, an M16, an AK-47, an M1 911A, an M79 grenade discharger, and then they have an RPG-7 in this case over here. These are some of the weapons that were used in the Vietnam War. And then on display over here, these are some of the typical uniforms and the way that the soldiers of the Vietnam War on the other side, part of the Viet Cong, and then the Vietnam soldier, or the soldiers, sorry, the North Vietnamese Army. These are some of the dress and the garb that they would wear. Let's see, more uniform. This one's kind of more stealthy on here. Pit helmet over here, and just some more of the examples of the uniforms that they would wear. This is a pretty impressive little display over here. You can see right over here, this is 1903 flyer scale model. So over here is a scale model of the plane for the Wright brothers that they were development. So they were early, the Wright brothers were early development in aviation for the Army for sure, with the early development anyway, but this is a pretty impressive plane right here. So this is a Spade 13 World War I aviation marble. And you can see it's got a really cool display how it's tucked up back in this garage here, but it's a beautiful, beautiful airplane. Fully restored. And the wingspan on it's impressive too. Let's see over here, they have a soldier sitting over here going over the map, and then over here is the engine that they put in it. Pretty impressive engine to actually have to fly this, but super cool display. This is a really impressive piece of equipment here. This is an F4 Phantom II. So this is a relic of the aerial combat. Let's see here. Definitely an impressive piece of equipment here. Can't imagine how fast this thing actually goes. Let's see the bombing cutter out there. Your knees. Part of the gunship fighter squad. Did not expect to see this many pieces of impressive equipment here, but super cool plane. So this vehicle here, this plane actually is on loan from the National Museum of the United States Air Force. So that's pretty cool that they actually loan out these for other displays. And then over here they have CW2 Jerry Towler, so this is actually his uniform here. And then over here they have a story about how somebody was shot down in one of these planes. There's a lot of history involved here for sure. So this is a display on the KC-135 Stratotanker. So this is an actual restoration of the cockpit of one of these vehicles here, and these were influential and very needed for, you can see, refueling here. So let's go take a look at the cockpit and see what that looks like inside of there. Alright, let's check out this fueling cockpit here. Oh my lord, there are so many different gauges and little buttons and switches to turn things on and off. This is an ADD person's heaven right here. This is the ultimate fidget spinner here, everyone. You can see here, there's so many different buttons even up top here. I don't even know how you would keep all this under control. But you are able to get in here and actually grab, take the steering wheel, and act like you're flying. Up and down. What does this thing even do? Who knows what these things even do? But this is fully restored and accurate to what it would look like to fly one of these. So you definitely have to know what you're doing for sure. Look, I'm a pilot, everyone. Yay. And over on this side they have a Douglas A4C Seahawk. That's a beautiful plane as well too. Love the gray color on it. The specs here. It's a 40-foot long. See here, range 1,700, about 2,000 miles it says here. So pretty impressive piece of equipment here for sure. Walk around here. It's solid. You can tell this thing definitely is pretty cool. Everyone else has little rivets on there, help airflow. Beautiful piece of equipment here. And over in this display they have some things from the Korean War. So they have a U.S. Marine Corps fatigue shirt here. They have an M1 carbine. They have an M4 bayonet. They have a helmet over here. They have some war ribbons. They also have the grenade. And a couple other things. Safe passage, conduct airdrop. And then safe contact, some airdrops, safe passages. Some interesting things from the Korean War. And over here they have an AH-1J Sea-Cobra helicopter over here. So this is a redesign of the Huey helicopter that they used in the Vietnam War. They had a problem with the ones that they used in the Vietnam War. They were too heavy and they were too slow, so they mainly used them for transport and medical, but they just not could keep up, and they were easy targets. So this is a redesign of this, and this is actually a military used. Well, this is actually did go out on a couple missions. The Sea Cobra here it says, but it was mainly statewide missions that it actually went to. But it's really cool. Did not expect to see this military helicopter here. And then over here they have a cockpit seat. So this is what your typical cockpit seat would look like inside one of these, and it does not look very comfortable, everyone. I can tell you that for sure. Sure, get me out of here. Your ejector puller there. I said earlier in the video, this is the first time that I've ever been here, so I'm really impressed at the amount of airplanes that they actually have here, and the display of it. It didn't look very big when I actually drove up to it, but it is massive here. So we have an AV-A8 Harrier here. You can see another huge, gigantic piece of military equipment here. Guess I should brush up on some of my military here. The only thing I really know is when the kids used to play Gear of War and Medal of Honor and all them other games. But I'm sure these are some aircraft that you could use back then. Alright, reading up a little bit on the spec card here, it says one of the main reasons why this is so innovative here is because this is one of the first vehicles to use the RCS system here. The reaction control system here, and that's the vents that you see over here on the sides of them, and then there's some over there on the tail. But these vents actually made it more maneuverable and made it more easy to turn at lower speeds and at vertical climbs. So this is why this was innovative in the military at that time. These little vents here, which made it easier and more stable at lower speeds. And then on the back here, you can see how it has that vent on the back too as well to help it better with the lower speeds, like I was saying. I really like how you can get super close to these things too. They really don't have too many of them roped off, so it's nice to be able to get really close and actually see the planes up close and personal like this. And then you can also see in the front here is where you can really see the big vents, the turbine vents inside of here, so the air would suck it through there, and then out to the tail. So you can see the innovation here of it. And over here they have some more displays of uniforms here and helmets, your Coast Guard, your hat over here. Some more bomber jackets, and then some more uniforms that were worn from the Coast Guard over here. So this is your Coast Guard area. So this beautiful aircraft here is an 84F Thunderstrike. So this one here was used by the Coast Guard and taken over by the U.S. Air Force. But this one was actually active from 1955, and then it finally had its last final tour in 1970 and was retired from the Air National Guard in 1970. But I love the paint scheme on this. It's super beautiful. Very sleek, very vintagey looking. But 1970 wasn't too far away. I guess that's just me. but to see the innovation and the way that planes have come so far, and anything has come so far since 1970, still beautiful piece of equipment.
They use what they call a catapult. Catapult to take this airplane from the stop to about 200 miles an hour. About 200 feet. Now they had this part added to the landing gear. They would hook to your catapult.
And then over in this section over here, you can actually see they have a team picture of the Thunderbirds. And then they actually have a uniform here that was worn by the Thunderbirds. Doug Roach, third right wingman. What a cheesy grin, but hope he didn't look like that. Very unique, cool uniform that definitely matches the plane and the effects on it. And probably was one of these guys here. And over here they have on display here a Thunderbird story. So it's some cool fun facts about the Thunderbirds. It tells you the story about how the Thunderbirds pilot actually travels with the team for 2 years. They travel about 265 days a year, and they actually do 100 shows a year. So this is a little tribute to them in the air show scene. You actually see it's kind of cool. They have Barbie and Ken Air Force Deluxe set here, and just some other things that go along with them. They're really highlighting this gentleman here. Let's see here, Douglas Roach. This is the guy that we saw the uniform over there on the other side here, but here's some more pictures of him. Actually in his uniform, there he is signing some autographs, certificate of merit. There's another hatch from him, and some more pictures. That's a really cool picture. I love the artwork on that. A cool little display on the history of the Thunderbirds here. There's some other displays they have over here. They actually have a spotlight here, a tower beacon that was at the Willow Run Metro Airport here. And back in the day, in the 1910s, they didn't have the systems that we have here now with the guidance and the GPS. So they actually used, it says here, they actually used road maps and landmarks to try and find out where they were. And these were beacons of hope here, beacon in the night. So this is a gigantic lens on this. This thing probably shines super, super bright. And then over here they have some models, or they're not models, they have actual engines here. So this is a V770 Ranger engine. And then we come over here and they have a Pratt & Whitney R28 double Wasp engine. Impressive piece of equipment on there. It's a massive engine. That thing's probably super, super loud. And then over here they have an Allison V1710 engine. Just another massive piece of equipment here. Interesting here how simulators are kind of the thing that everybody likes to play at everything. This is actually one of the very first early flight simulators here. So this was designed in 1927 by Edwin Wink, and the license, Wink was granted a patent in September 29th, 1931, but this is kind of one of the first air simulators here, or flight simulators here, and it kind of worked off a vacuum system, and you can kind of see their little platform. It's almost like a circus ride. But even back then, they were trying to make some kind of flight simulators. And you can see there's a picture of them here trying to ride inside of it. But here's the manual that they have here. Here's a spec sheet. And then some of the topographical maps and everything that they would use. Very interesting to see. One of the very first flight simulators here. So this display over here, this is the plane here, but then this display shows you the size of some of the bombs that actually it carried. And then this is really unique and cool. This is an actual turret from a plane here. So this had a 30 and 30 caliber gun, 50 turret. And then you can see the mechanics in it, and you can actually see, if you look inside of there, you can see where the guy goes up. There's his seat there with all the controls in it and everything else. And then the gun up top there. But you would literally be, I don't, hopefully that's bulletproof and super thick, because you're just a sitting duck there trying to get hit. But the turret is really, really cool to see. And then this is really impressive to see here. They have an FA-18C Hornet. And we all know this is a Blue Angel here. So the Blue Angels are another show, flight show, air show branch that they have here that the U.S. Navy does. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful blue and yellow. And it's very fitting to be sitting here, blue and yellow, because we're pretty close to Ann Arbor, which is home of Michigan football. So this actual plane here, before it became a Blue Angel Hornet, was actually in some missions over here, and it was actually in the Persian, couple things in the Persian Gulf in 2001, and then it was over in Afghanistan as well too in 2016. They actually decommissioned it and actually donated it onto the Blue Angels aerial demonstration team, and right around 2020 is when they actually set this thing down and retired it fully. So a little less than 5 years ago, this thing was still flying in the air. And over here in this display case here, they have some bomber jackets. You can see they have these unique, cool old bomber jackets. Different squadrons, different leaders. Doesn't really give a date or a time on them, but you can definitely tell that they are old, and the wear on them definitely took some time on it. Some of the badges are really, really cool. And I know some of these badges are super, super expensive. If there's anything that we've learned from pop culture and watching things like Pawn Stars and American Pickers and all that things, they're definitely very, very valuable patches. So you actually have some of the ones, the main ones anyway here. And then this is a really neat display over here. These are all the fighter jet helmets here. So you can see the different ways that they would decorate them, put different emblems on them, things like that. These are from the 70s and 80s. This is an 83. And the ones on top here is the 1960s. And then down here there's another, these are the 60s over here. Alright, over in this area they have the Tuskegee Airmen exhibit over here. They have a whole display set up for the Tuskegee Airmen and the women who were involved with that. You can see they have their typical uniform set up here. This is the emblem here. That's a really cool emblem. And then you can see they have some displays over here of some of the planes that they would fly. Really love the artwork up here. Is super cool. And you can see down here they have some more of the emblems and some more of the artwork that they would put on their planes. Over here they have a display of what is called challenge coins. So the story of challenge coins is certain people will get recognized for certain things, and they will get these challenge coins here. And rumor has it, and story behold, that it says here on the paper here, certain officers would ask people to present a challenge coin, and if they could not present a challenge coin, they would owe that said officer or that said soldier a drink. These are really cool, ornate little challenge coins here. And if you guys want to read a little bit there, I'll hold it there. You guys can pause it and read. But I thought that was a pretty cool little display that they have here. In a display over here, they have some more artifacts here from World War II. They have different weaponry, things like that. And these are Japanese artifacts. You see their knives here, or different kinds of grenades that they used to use, canteens and hats. Over here they have some Germany artifacts, World War II. And then they have some more uniforms here. These are some uniforms from the women of the military. And then over here, chaplains' uniforms, military and religious services. So you can see they have the uniforms here for the chaplains, for the churches. So they have a little communion set, rosaries, different kinds of badges and things like that. Their little New Testament Bible in the back there. It's a really neat display that they have here. This is Kevin Paul Spalla. This is his uniform and attire, but this is his West Point. He actually went to West Point. He was another one that is from the Detroit area here. And to have his West Point military parade uniform here, that's something you don't see a lot of. There's a lot of West Point stuff. That stuff's pretty sacred, and they keep it under lock and key pretty good. And I know it's a lot of money. Really cool. The headset's super, super cool with it. They have a really cool display over here for Staff Sergeant Edwin Hack. Actually born in Detroit, but they have a lot of his apparel here. So this jacket is super, super cool, bomber jacket. This is well dried Bugs Bunny. And then they have his uniform over here. They have some really cool pictures of him here as well too. And actually have a display of what it would look like for him to be on the plane here, shooting gun out of the side here. Next to the helicopter that they have over here, they have a paratrooper outfit over here. So this is what the typical paratrooper outfit would look like. Oh, I just ran into the helicopter. So this is one of their newer displays that they have here. This is the Women Answer the Call. So this is their tribute and their acclimates to, you can see a whole bunch of more intricate equipment here. And then you can see here they actually have a display here of the shell and what it would look like here to actually see the women in here working. Let me raise my camera up here so you can see up top there. And then in this section over here is actually the tribute to Rosie the Riveter, Marjorie Ellis Walters. And then you can come in here and sit. They have an actual video here playing with some interviews from her. And then you can sit down here and you can actually listen to some of the other broadcasts that they have here. But really great tribute to the women in the workforce during the wars and the women in the factory, and the help that they definitely helped out for sure to help keep the country going. Alright, what lurks in the bottom of Lake Michigan? This display here is going to show you they had a lot of trouble, I guess, in Lake Michigan, and they had a lot of plane crashes over here with the Navy. So I walked in here before, but I wanted to make sure I give you guys a good view of it. So this is kind of what it would look like on a plane crash at the bottom of the lake. You can see it's all deteriorated. And you can see the propeller itself is all bent up and out of shape. I did not expect to come here and see this. This is a really cool display here, though. Alright, everybody, that's going to wrap it up here for our visit to the Flight Museum in Belleville, Michigan. If you guys did enjoy the video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe and follow. And this is our continual journey for looking for museums in the local area that we can get into and check out. kind of getting bored and a little burnout from the arcade, so we're going to bring you guys some other footages here and show you some of the other interesting things in my area. Big shout out to the Mustard Mafia. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell. And we'll see you next time, everyone. Thanks for joining us. All right, everyone, not going to really get out of the car because it is downpouring rain right now, but they did tell me that they have a B-52 bomber over here in the parking lot that they're restoring. So here's that in all of its glory. That is massive. I wish it wasn't raining so I could get out and get you guys like a full tour of it, but we'll have to come back and check this out for sure again when it's a little bit nicer out and see how far the restorations come on it. But all right, little bonus footage. Thanks for watching again, guys.